because some entrances into America's oldest national park could be impassable for months.
Where the ground is moving significantly upward. We'd also combine that with seismic activity.
Yellowstone and Mauna Loa are two of the most famous and massive volcanoes on our planet, both known for their destructive eruptions that have impacted the world in various ways. The thought of these massive volcanoes erupting simultaneously is enough to send chills down your spine. The sleeping giant in Yellowstone has remained dormant for over 640,000 years, but recent discoveries have shown that it may not remain so for much longer. Scientists have uncovered a sizable chunk of magma pulsating beneath the surface, sparking fears of another catastrophic eruption. But what would happen if these two volcanoes were to blow their tops at the same time? How would it affect the surrounding areas and the global environment? The possibility of such an event raises many questions and concerns, leaving us wondering what the future holds for these volatile giants. So let's find out in today's video. Beneath the serene landscapes of Yellowstone National Park lies a powerful and unpredictable force with over 10,000 geothermal features that shape the terrain. Like a giant's breath, the Earth's surface rises and falls, driven by the intense heat and pressure emanating from the magma chamber beneath the park. The supervolcano sits across 3 states, with the majority located in northwestern Wyoming. The hot magma flowing beneath the park causes the ground to swell and collapse, forming a reservoir located 6 to 10 kilometers beneath the surface. But Yellowstone's past eruptions were far more catastrophic, covering the continental United States with ash, gas, magma, and debris. Trees, mountains, and other features were swallowed up by the Yellowstone supervolcano, resulting in depressions called calderas. Today, Yellowstone remains a serene landscape for outdoor enthusiasts, but it has the potential to unleash a natural hazard like no other. The Yellowstone Caldera's shallow magma body has created 2 resurgent domes, the Sour Creek Dome and the Mallard Lake Dome, which may have magma as close as 3 to 8 miles and 8 to 12 miles beneath them respectively. The changing levels of magma, or hydrothermal fluids beneath the domes, can cause uplift and subsidence, affecting not just the domes but also the entire caldera floor. Over the past century, net inflation has caused a tilt toward the south, resulting in the southern sides of Yellowstone Lake sinking and the trees standing in water. Conversely, the fishing bridge at the lake's northern end has risen into a sandy beach, indicative of the unpredictable nature of Yellowstone's volatile force. Super eruptions, which have occurred in the past, are not a thing of the past and will happen again. But the question that looms over everyone's head is whether Yellowstone will experience another eruption. It's uncertain. Yellowstone is a geological wonder that has been around for ages, and it's possible that another eruption may happen sooner than expected. While people tend to picture volcanic eruptions as giant explosions with molten lava spilling everywhere, there are various types of volcanic activities, ranging from minor to catastrophic. Hydrothermal explosions and lava flows are some examples of less severe volcanic events, but they can still pose a threat. However, Yellowstone has had only one caldera-forming eruption, which occurred over 600,000 years ago. But recent discoveries have sparked concern among authorities as they have found a colossal chunk of magma throbbing beneath the surface. This increased activity has led to discussions about the possibility of a full-scale eruption and its level of destruction if it were to happen. Volcanoes are like fiery beasts fueled by magma, and it's the explosive component that sets them off like a ticking time bomb. The Yellowstone supervolcano, known for its geysers, is loaded with magma, but not all of it can erupt because it consists of both solid and liquid components. So scientists have been busy using their wizardry to analyze 20-year-old seismic data to determine the amount of molten rock that could potentially erupt if the volcano were to blow. And what they found is nothing short of mind-blowing. According to their study, published in the prestigious journal Science, the upper magma reservoir contains way more liquid magma than previously thought, ranging from 16% to 20%. Previous estimates had put the figure at a measly 10%. For 2 million years, there has been a massive magmatic system there, stated Brandon Schmant, a geophysicist at the University of New Mexico and one of the study's authors. It does not look like it's going away, that's for sure. But hold on tight, because the story doesn't end there. Volcanologists are always on the hunt to identify magma reservoirs, and one of their primary methods is monitoring earthquakes. They use seismic waves to track the location and characteristics of the magma reservoirs. However, this method has its limitations, and sometimes crucial information is lost. In their latest research on the Yellowstone volcano, scientists took a bold new approach to uncovering its secrets. Rather than relying on conventional seismic techniques, they delved into a 20-year archive of seismic noise that captured sounds from the ocean, human activity, and the wind. Using sophisticated computer models to simulate how seismic waves travel through the Earth, they were able to uncover the volcano's elusive molten rock that had been overlooked previously. The team discovered that up to 20% of the shallower magma reservoir may be liquid magma, a finding that has raised concerns about the potential for a catastrophic eruption. The growing strength and frequency of earthquakes in the Yellowstone area has increased in recent times. The park experiences up to 3,000 tremors every year, some of which are too insignificant to be reported. But the undeniable evidence of increased volcanic activity, as shown by the continuously growing dome-shaped uplift, has forced Yellowstone officials to take drastic measures. They have closed the park to protect visitors and researchers in the event of a volcanic eruption, which appears to be closer now than it has been in the past 600,000 years. The danger posed by a potential eruption cannot be overstated. Even if the park is evacuated, it may not be enough to protect human lives and property. Whole cities might have to be evacuated, and in the worst-case scenario, residents in adjacent states could be forced to relocate far from the park. Scientists are working hard to monitor the situation and predict what might happen next, but there is no assurance that even the best-laid plans will be enough, given the sheer size of the potential eruption. Yellowstone may be getting all the attention, but it's not the only volcano capable of global destruction. For instance, Krakatoa, located in Indonesia, is still active and could erupt again. Its last eruption killed more than 36,000 people, making it one of the deadliest volcanic eruptions in modern times. Despite warnings in the form of billowing smoke and small earthquakes, the natives celebrated the natural fireworks. But soon after, a deafening blast sent a cloud of debris 15 miles into the air, shattering the eardrums of those nearby. As the magma chamber ruptured, seawater mixed with lava, creating flashes of superheated steam that moved faster than a speeding car. Darkness from ash and debris lasted for 3 days, and a 37-meter-high tsunami destroyed 300 towns and villages. The tsunami travelled around the globe 3.5 times, causing destruction as far as South Africa. The Krakatoa eruption caused the oceans to cool for up to a century, which could have prevented sea levels from rising even more. Anak Krakatoa, or Child of Krakatoa, formed an entirely new island after the eruption. But another eruption in 2018 caused a small tsunami that killed hundreds of people, injured thousands, and displaced thousands more. A warning system is crucial for the area surrounding Krakatoa, as the volcano still poses a potential threat. Scientists have reported that the eruption of Krakatoa was responsible for cooling the oceans for up to a century, which may have prevented sea levels from being higher than they are today. 45 years after the eruption, Krakatoa continued to show signs of life with intermittent underwater eruptions. Some areas of the original volcano resurfaced, creating a new island known as Anak Krakatoa, or Child of Krakatoa. Sadly, in 2018, Krakatoa erupted again, causing parts of Anak Krakatoa to collapse and resulting in a devastating tsunami that killed 437 people, injured 32,000, and displaced more than 16,000 people. However, there's a type of volcano that's not included in the typical volcano statistics, the underwater volcano. While they may not be as well known, they are just as hazardous. Surprisingly, 2/3 of all volcanic activity takes place beneath the ocean's surface. But how do these underwater volcanoes form? Interestingly, they are formed in the same way as on-land volcanoes, by molten rock making its way through the Earth's crust. The majority of underwater volcanoes are found along mid-ocean ridges where two tectonic plates are separating, which creates a continuously active volcanic environment. When two plates collide, an underwater volcano can also form. Some underwater volcanoes can even grow into volcanic islands over time. When a hotspot is under an oceanic plate, it can also produce a chain of volcanic islands, like Hawaii. Enter Mauna Loa. Mauna Loa, the largest volcano on Earth, has been under constant observation for many years due to its high activity and proximity to inhabited areas. It has been erupting for 700,000 years, making it one of the world's most active volcanoes. Mauna Loa's eruptions have been recorded since 1843, with the most recent one occurring in 1984. In 1930, the US Geological Survey published a map of the Hawaiian Islands showing the layers created by Mauna Loa and the adjacent Kilauea volcano's eruptions. Of the 5 volcanoes on Hawaii Island, Mauna Loa is the largest, occupying more than half of the island's surface area. It has a surface mass of 5,271 square kilometers, or 2,035 square miles, and a maximum width of approximately 120 kilometers, or 75 miles. The majority of the volcano's massive structure is underwater, and it is nearly twice as tall as Mount Everest, measuring 56,000 feet, or 17,170 meters from the ocean's floor's depressed crust to its highest point. Scientists estimate that Mauna Loa has a 100% chance of erupting again and could have devastating consequences if it does. The thought of Yellowstone and Mauna Loa erupting is a terrifying prospect that could have catastrophic consequences for the world. With Mauna Loa being the world's largest volcano and Yellowstone having the potential to unleash a supervolcanic eruption, the combined power of these two giants would be unimaginable. The massive amounts of ash, lava, and gases released into the atmosphere would cause widespread destruction, impacting not only the surrounding areas but also global weather patterns. The aftermath of such an event could have far-reaching consequences, with possible long-term effects on agriculture, transportation, and global trade. Scientists warn that this is not a question of if, but when these volcanoes will erupt again, and it's crucial that we prepare ourselves for the worst-case scenario. Let's hear your thoughts in the comments section below.